I receive this parcel.
Okay, but many of the people on YouTube receive parcels every day. But this was something special, brand new, very interesting and promising for me. In fact, at the moment, I don't want to use it in the original and thought way. As clearly to see on the box, this handle is made for the X-series cameras in the dive housing. At the time this product became available for purchase, I was in Croatia for my autumn training. So I ordered one immediately to be able to test it as long as I stay there. But not with the X3 and the invisible dive housing, but with one of my GoPros. You can record many times interesting underwater footage with the X3 or higher, but you also have a lot of failure due to reflections on the stitch lines. So this time I did not even bring the underwater housing with me to Croatia. Too often I had good shots, but they were unusable because of the reflections. Let's take a closer look at everything you will receive in the package. There's a stabilizer fin made out of rubber. A small instruction manual is included, which also has tables for buoyancy of the various camera models in sea and freshwater. To see the small weight plates and adjust the buoyancy, we have to completely unscrew the handle. Let's check it out in the water. The handle for itself, even there's already a GoPro mount fixed on it. There's no weight inside. The GoPro in the housing has no buoyancy and sinks immediately. When the GoPro is mounted on the handle and this is released, the heavy GoPro naturally rotates downwards and the air-filled handle floats upwards. To my happy surprise, it worked almost perfectly on the first try. I only have to fine adjust it by rotating the grip a little bit to do my second try, but this time it was too much. After a few attempts, I managed to balance the dive body almost perfectly in the water. Since the water was very choppy and everything was shaking back and forth, I had no ideal conditions for good shots. So I need a day or place with quieter conditions. Some days later the time had come and I visited a very sheltered and quiet bay. By the way, this big red boy tells its own story. The link for it when this video is finished will be in the top right corner. I had already several tries without filming, so some small buoyancy adjustments, and with this try I start filming. One thing always difficult to control is the spinning of the camera. The handle is floating on the surface, but if it's deeper it's sinking. You always have to adjust this handle to the depth in which you are diving, because otherwise it will a little bit float or a little bit sink. To prove this, I take the floating handle from the surface and give it a push downwards. First it nearly stops and stays, but after some time it starts very slowly going down. I dive down to fulfill the main purpose of the dive body, creating some footage of myself. Viewed from the surface, the handle becomes smaller and smaller, almost disappearing. even sinking faster and faster, till it reaches the bottom. I have to dive down to get the handle back. The increasing water pressure with depth probably only compresses the handle minimally, but that's enough to make the dive buddy sink faster and faster. So what is my conclusion? For me, the dive buddy is a great addition to my equipment and I'm glad I bought it. Others probably won't be so enthusiastic. However, I have to say that the grip is strongly misused with a GoPro and will produce very different results with my X3. I will conduct those tests when I'm back at home and also see how it performs in freshwater. So stay tuned for part 2 of the tests.